Hello, welcome. Good evening if you're on the same coast that I am. It is chilly out there. You know what, Worms? Worms. Yeah, Worms, that's on brand with playing Nurgle. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be playing Nurgle. And I have messed around with him before, so I kind of know what's coming. And with the concept of gaming the system a little bit, I think I have a strategy. Since being a demon means you total war any human mortal faction you face, including the vampires, which I guess to some vampires that's on brand, on some it may not be, so I don't know about all that, but we're gonna play Kugath, but I'm gonna shut up for a second and let y'all watch this narrative campaign. While I agree with the sentiment that the realms of chaos being shoved down your throat isn't necessarily desirable, and the fact that when you do go in the realm of chaos to get the souls to do the campaign objective, it's kind of sucks. You don't really get incentivized for your time there. And Kugath has really expensive buildings, so with this, I won't call it a guide, but strategy that I'm going to be loosely trying to follow, we're going to go for the Tong straight away right above us. I believe they're a far better target to go after, which means we'll have no reliability rating. But you know what? Diplomacy, you can't really do that as a demon anyway, so who gives a shit? It's like, it's not like, what are you gonna do? You can trade with somebody? No, you can't do that. It's okay.
The gallows tree, dwelling of Kugath, father of plagues. There is no greater brewmaster of phage and pox than he. To describe the squalor of the fetid sewer is impossible. I risked my very flesh to tread it. Kugath thought me but another specimen for his grotesque experiments. Before the rot consumed me, I offered something finer. Belagor has imprisoned the god-bear of Kislev.
Oh, how delightful. If Belagor has struck, there'll be plenty of carrion for me.
Ursun himself lies dying, fatally wounded in the Forge of Souls.
A dying god. The finest corpse from which to brew a plague.
A god pox, mighty Kugath.
A god pox. Ah, you tempt me, old man. But I cannot reach the Forge of Souls. The maelstrom prevents us.
I can breach it and guide you to the dying bear.
And why would you do this, little healthy mortal?
For a single drop of Ursun's blood. That is my fate.
Blood for you, the body for me.
And shabam, away we go. Now this part right here, when it gives you your campaign introduction, I want to talk about that, because it seems like
The murk. But this time,
one hand wasn't talking to the other when it came to the creation of the start position for this race. And on Legendary, if you follow the path set before you, you'll find out that it kind of sucks.
Our travels from the gallows tree to the sunken
Gallows
sewers
tree?
place
Huh.
us much closer to mortal lands.
Yeah, we don't want that.
All the better for you to unleash your brews and ensure
You have the
we are
tools to deal with the
powerful enough
mortals,
to
but
breach the realm of chaos when the time
this
comes.
is kind of weird to say, but it's better for you to go
Ogres
north
encroach
first,
on our land and
'cause
squat in Glutport.
if you
Our
ever
access
want to have
point to the frozen
anything
sea.
other than,
Get rid of
I
them.
think the best I did,
We must be wary of leaving our
By
eastern
turn
flank exposed
80-ish,
even as we look south.
was four
Hated
soul
walls,
grinders.
we
And soul
colonize
grinders are from your
Paradum,
basic
a beachhead in the chaos
military
wastes
building.
they have no intention of losing.
Alright, skip this, but
But it is, and we must ogres in our
right here.
travels from the gallows tree to the sun.
Where's the gallows tree? It's right here. Huh. That... Huh, am I the only one? You know, am I the only one that thinks that's weird? The gallows tree, but there's no Nurgle corruption. So that's a much fucking better starting spot. So these guys are a friend. But see, they're mortals, so they only almost kind of 90%, 95% of their roster only does physical damage. See physical damage, you see. Demons, 20%. Kugath's Beth, this right here, this is just mwah, chef's kiss. Now for 20%, you're going to be using Nurglings a lot, right? Because you're Kugath and he's good with Nurglings. So that's 46% on Beasts of Nurgle. So that helps you, you know, that helps you not get physical damage. But, see, Tzeentch is a really hard counter, so if you play this campaign normally and come down here, you're going to meet Krakadrak, and they're like, oh, the player, well, I gotta go after the player, and you're just going to be dealing with this shit all day long. And if you come here before you're really ready, and you actually have an economy, which Kugath's economy is weird because of the growth and recycling of the buildings. And for those that don't know, you're looking at Kugath, so you grow, right? So for 5,000, you build the building and all of its, that's it. There's no more building of a building. So you pay a large cost up front, and then it gets you units. Okay, I don't have a problem with that, but it does mean your economy goes up and down. And what do we want a lot of? Well, this is your best economic building at 420 gold at full maturity, when it gives you a bit of plague drones that have the Death's Head, which Kugath does start with. And also the Great Diarrhea Monsters is also an advanced military building with an upfront cost of 10,000. But you gotta have a military to get territory, to build stuff, to get money, but everything costs 2,000 to even start. And so I think this right here is a trap, because by the time you get this, and then you gotta come back here because there's Clad Helheim here, and they're gonna print armies at you. Plus the ogres start with a camp over here. This I want to say is a ruin, Stormvac, yeah, Fort Dalganir. And so then you got Krakadrak over here doing this shit, and if God help you, if Katarin gets ahead and comes out here and sees you, then you become public enemy number 1. You can forget the diplomacy screen and this crap right here. No, you're public enemy number 1. It doesn't matter if they see you as an enemy or not. They're coming for you. And so then, at best, you have one Providence, while Tzeentch is over here being a dickhead, doing whatever he's doing, and then he confederates these guys, and then, you know, by the time that the 20 turns is up, that you can, you know, in 10 turns, you can talk to these guys, and it takes too long for you to get your ball rolling. So fuck these guys. Fuck them. Fuck them now. You know what I mean? Like, fuck them now. But we're not going to do that right now. So what I'm doing is, I'm scaring these guys who I think have an army here. They'll spend a few turns recruiting. They'll go here. We take this without an army, hopefully. There's just some variances to this plan that I haven't quite worked out, but I don't really want to do the same 20 turns for a week straight to then try to make a guide out of this. So, because these guys can't do anything to you. The only unit that they'll have access to before you can kill them that hurts you, that's really dangerous, is Aspiring Champions, because Aspiring Champions do magical damage, and you don't have magical defense. You have physical resistance. So that's my thoughts, and you could talk to these people over here if you want to get a couple extra 100 gold out of that, but that's basically the idea. We're going to get these smelly ogres out of our land, and then we're going to turn around and leave, because right here is a hero. And you want heroes. You want to be able to get a lot of winds of magic, and Kugath isn't... any of the legendary lords outside of Kairos are not special. I think maybe Mao Ying might be a special, and perhaps the male dragon to her brother are the only special spellcasters in the game. Everybody else is generic. Their heroes are the same thing as the lords, so Kugath's magic isn't any more deadly than a regular hero of Nurgle. So that's not what we're going to be doing with Kugath. So with Kugath, we're going to make him. We're going to come down here and we're going to pick up some physical resist, root marcher, because you want to be able to get around. This is shit. Don't get it unless you own half the map and you think 5 growth by the time you own half the map is useful. It's crap. Nurgling Tide, I also think is another wasted point. But as a great unclean one, you want Fetid Stench, and you're actually going to be putting Kugath into melee because you get this Mortis Engine effect. And since you can get some speed and agility on Nurglings and Beasts of Nurgle, which I think are some of your best units until you can get occasional great unclean ones and some Soul Grinders. The Soul Grinders of Nurgle are by far his best unit. I don't think they're doom stackable because his economy is so incredibly pathetic. But because he's an artillery, and that's the only artillery piece you actually get, I think having 3, 4 to 5 Soul Grinders at max in Kugath's army is, that's your level 100 preem goal if everything works out right. But that's, turn 100, I didn't say level, I meant turn 100. So first off, we got to start. And I have a little delicious piece of cheese here, because again, I don't want Gletport, because the $2,000 cost for me to build a building, and when you take other people's crap, you don't get a building out of it. It comes like this. And there's nothing special about this place. This Great Blight Oak is not special. This, who cares? 3 control. I don't care. The only time you're going to have control problems is if you have too many neighbors and rifts open up with other people's corruption, because you can get plus 10 Nurgle corruption, but you can get negative 20 corruption with Tzeentch Slaanesh and Khorne corruption if it's in your lands. And you can't deal with that unless you want to have full 20 stacks of a Lord with Nurglings in each one of your settlements to maintain public order. It just doesn't work. So while he is very defensive, be aggressive. It's legendary. If you don't grab your enemy by the balls and ram their head into the wall, they're going to do the same to you. But I will show you a little delicious piece of cheese. I prefer to start with this. This is better for your growth, and this will come into play, especially this building, because this is how you get Soul Grinders, right? You come over here and build the Forsaken building, which cycles to Soul Grinders, which curiously enough, you then have to build the military, quote-unquote, your defensive building, because Nurgle doesn't really have defensive buildings, so you don't build walls. But that requires you to be level 4, so that means that can only be built in a provincial capital. So you need this, plus these buildings to cycle them faster. Also your technology, where is it? Oh, come on now, yep. So here is your Plague Bearer building, and then the spicy one is the Living Tree, so that's your economic building for plague drones and rot flies, which is not bad to build, but the units aren't good. You just build that for money, which is a half-baked plan. And then this right here, once you get to this tree, this is the technology when you need to start worrying about, okay, I'm going to start transitioning the infrastructure into building Soul Grinders, because that's what you need. And Nurglings aren't terrible, and Kugath makes Nurglings far stronger than they ought to be, but they don't work forever. You need some meat in your armies, And this right here is interesting at the very end of the tree. When you capture a settlement, it starts with a population surplus, but just at this point, you could grow so much, so who cares? So you start, it doesn't make sense. And then you get into the some of your plagues and other things you can put on your buildings. You can really help yourself out a lot. So to start with this kind of the concepts that I'm going to be trying to go for, and we'll see how we do, because you never know, sometimes the best laid plans don't work. I want to work on this because I want constant vomiting as fast as I can get it, and constant vomiting is the harder to get thing than Limb Blight. So Limb Blight's easy. That's 5 jumps. And you can get this on turn 1 by somehow. I don't really understand how it works. I just know that it does, and I will show you. So you infect Kugath. You go into your recruit pool and grab yourself your Beast of Nurgle, who regenerates. And by the time you hit turn 2, he'll have 90% HP unless I mess up. So you quote-unquote pretend to fight this battle, but it's key that you actually don't fight this. You want to lose here because you're going to infect him, which is going to give you 2 plagues, because Kugath gives you 1. Losing to this guy gives you 2, and then you'll attack him again on turn 1, which will then go be out of movement. That gives you 7. I don't understand how this works, but I've always had this happen. Unless this is the time I go to show people that it just doesn't work. Because, you know, when you're like, hey, look what I found out, and then it doesn't work, you know what I mean? Or my sink is leaking, and the plumber comes over and starts working, you know, that kind of crap. But first off, I also suggest you don't do guard mode with Nurgle specifically. Most demons, this isn't a bad idea, because like, well, what are you going to do? If you send them to attack, that's it. There's nothing special for you to do. There's no, you know, carried lines with ranged troops. Most demons don't have that. So we're going to come over here and shoot him. These guys, while he's over there, going to deal with the Lord, because that's the greatest amount of value that ammunition can do. We're just going to line up to leave. I'm not actually going to fight this. There's no reason to, because we're going to get our bonus of infection. Meanwhile, Kugath is going to beat the crap out of the Noblars. So, you just, yeah, wait for this. Move Kugath ready to, because you don't want to be losing health, retreating because you've inflicted army losses upon yourself. That's why I'm getting these really fast units at 23 speed. I mean, look at these Plague Bearers, man. Beautiful unit. Absolutely amazing. The models, I don't know if beautiful is probably not the right word, but stunning units that they've created. I mean, good job, creative assembly. Like, credit where credit's due, right? There's some problems with this game, but there's some, you know, it's not a complete bunch of ass. Yeah, I did that. However, I also need to preface that you want to be careful. I'm going to chase the Beast of Nurgle. I forgot him. That's my mistake. So he may get hit, so he may have to support with some magic. This little plague is really good against the ogres, because they're all pretty much melee characters who rely on charge, and now you can neuter his charge. That's good. So he's out of ammo. Line up. Fat boy, get out of here. Alright. We're going to be playing a little close to the bandsaw here. I talked a little too much and clicked a little too less, but I think you guys get the pretty much the general gist of the idea. Come on. I don't want any of your models to lose, because I'm going to need you, since I have very slim pickings as far as strength is concerned. Come on, Beast of Nurgle. You just get him off the battlefield, so this way he gets some health. Crushing defeat. Is it? Is it really? And because this is your first battle, you can't make this guy retreat post-battle loss. So you kill him no matter if you kill him in the game or not. Or in the battle. Which you want to do because you want more loot money. And that is the next step after we're done here. Oh no, I lost! How terrifying! I retreated a little bit further than I wanted to. And because we don't care about Gluttport, let's kill him. And then we'll just go ahead and preface the show. Boom, twice. So this is the key here, 2 times. Now, I don't understand this. You kill him, and then, like, the plague jumps around 100 times and just stays with Kugath. Doesn't make sense to me, but you know what? I'm okay with that. And then we turn around and go towards the Tong. We'll build the growth building after this too, by the way. And also, there isn't a, from what I can tell, unless I've just been this unlucky, there isn't a student to help you get to your crappy technologies even faster. Because I'll be honest, Kugath's tech tree kind of blows. And not in a good way. Plague toads, I'm going to hide these over here. Furies, you're just going to be escorting units off the battlefield. Guess what we're going to do? Same thing we did. This time, we'll stand and fight, though. And with Kugath, you're going to try to, when it's applicable, to understand this right here, because this gives not the greatest heal, but it does give 0.1 health per second, which is around 4 to 6 health per second, just like the old regen and Warhammer 2 on Ultra Unit scale. Actual regen gives you like 12, so you actually heal more now in this game, with the new percentage based instead of number based healing. Don't shoot him. You guys better get out of the way so you don't get shot. Looking at that square right there. Turn around and shoot him in his butt. Hopefully he'll have the single entity nerf that they did, which I like. I don't mind this. If you know, are on the brink with your single entities and they get hurt, they get wounds, I like this change. It is, you know, a nerf to Doom stacks, but I think it's a good nerf. Let's move you guys around, get ready for you guys. We're going to come in and basically we're going to have to fight these ogre bulls at pretty much full strength. Come on, Kugath, give me a couple of good shots on these Noblars. Nice. Yep, he's hurting. And we're basically just going to use, because your magic, the Stream of Corruption's not a horrible spell, even though there's Wind Blast, which just knocked him down, right? That often didn't do very much damage, but this does have 100% armor piercing, but it doesn't do anything against monstrous infantry. Escort them off the battlefield. Not quite. One more good volley from these drones. You shoot them. Let's get this beast of Nurgle in here. Select all these units. Charge. No! Did I get it in time? Eh, not really. I misclicked. Get these toads around here. So make sure they're not on guard mode. Get these Noblars out of here. Hopefully, if you can kill the most amount of units, it will impact and positively impact your battle loot. So battle loot doesn't seem to really be changed from Warhammer 2. Which, you know, in a nutshell, it's good to have some consistency. Let's get this slug in here. But you most certainly want to kill lords when it's applicable to do so via your plans, unless you're trying to get multiple battles out of them, which doesn't really matter. Multiple victories don't really matter necessarily, like the victory type. Like in Warhammer 2, it's how strong they are compared to you, and if you should have won or not. And then how well you did that. That's what gives you the experience. That's how you can get, you know, a lot of different experience in one go. Some toes. Punch this guy in his ugly head. Where you going, buddy? I thought you were hungry. Hmm? Oh no. Damn, that plague toad just straight clapped him right in the side of his gourd. Are you still working? It's this unit, man, that. The only thing Furies are good for, of Nurgle, is the fact that they have an acceptable amount of weapon strength and speed so they can attack towers. Other than that, crap. You guys serious? Kill him. For the love of heavens. Better cast this quickly. God, you guys chased him around incorrectly. What are you doing? Get back out there. You too. Go, kill. That's just so embarrassing. Even when he has wounds, he's faster than my units. Like, it's just so yikes. Alright, well. Oh, the enemy lord is dead. Good God. I think Kugath actually shot him. Which is good. Like, he needs to die. So we're gonna go ahead and speed this up now. And while we're speeding this up, our slug, which we recruited at half health, will be full health. And I think no matter how you play Kugath, the level 1 Beast of Nurgle is like mandatory. Like, do that. 4. The Fury's doing. You guys getting tired? That's probably why you can't hit worth a damn. Oh, lovely, Kugath. You killed your own Chaos Furies. Stop. Quit it. Knock it off. Stop helping. Oh, that's like some Skaven tactics right there. Kill your own units to kill the enemy. Kill them all. Much time as we can waste, the better. Everybody go over there. Get these Furies over here. This is another thing when it comes to after battle healing that's no different than it was in Warhammer 2. You can just kind of guide units around like that. Because they're going to see your flying units and go, oh no, there's a unit cutting me off. I had better turn around. Oh no, there's units pursuing me. Oh crap, I don't know which way to go. And then the AI, in its trying to retreat, ends up getting confused. So then you kill everybody, which this shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have gotten 2 kills here. And whatever the hell Pugath did to his own Chaos Furies, but it doesn't matter. So you get 1,800 gold instead of like 200 or something like that. 400, 500 I think it is. And then, while the money will be necessary, we're going to run a negative economy soon. That army receives plague. This guy's dead. Put the hero in your army. Recruit 2 units. Okay. I don't understand where the other 5 infections from the plague jumping around came from. I don't understand how this works. But this has been the spot where it's most easiest to replicate this result. I have never had this not work. If you attack and lose and attack again, you will have 7 plagues jumps of whatever you choose first, which I suggest this because constant vomiting is your single best plague ability, because the ability to throw a unit where you need it, when you need it, for the most part there is a cooldown, but is a beautiful thing. So we're gonna get a little bit of money here because again, you're broke. That's okay. And then what was the other quest? Oh right, 2 units. We need a couple of Nurglings. I like Plague Toads in the early game because they're the best thing you can use to capture points. And then capture Gletport. No. And I also suggest you do this because the melee defense is nice, but it's really the movement speed. This gets you at, if you can maintain over 90% winds of magic per army, this gets you at the old Root Marcher, negative 1%. And then we want the growth building here, which is also going to help us with our creation of Nurglings. With our plague helps us with Nurglings. And then whatever growth you want. This is better, but I prefer this just because it's 2 turns. And I think you have an increased chance to get items if you fight and you're not researching things, but you don't get the student. So another thing to do is if you kill plague bearers, you get a not the leper lord. That's if you win a battle with plague bearers in your army. You get cheaper upkeep costs for these plague bearers and exalted. But there's also a recruitment reduction item, and that's if you, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any reliability. And there's no reason to talk to them. They're not going to confederate with you for a long time. And it's not like the Vortex campaign. When you completed the Vortex milestones, you ended up getting a diplomacy. You like nerfed everybody else hating you because you're messing with the Vortex and they don't like that. Like, you don't have any of that stuff with the Forge of Souls as far as I know. I did like 1 soul, thought that was a complete waste of my time, and reloaded the campaign and decided I'm going to go create other strategies and learn how to play the game better. And this is the part where it sucks because we're in negative economy, but I think it's necessary because the faster you're fighting with 8 Nurglings in your army, you can get the Bruntus Bowel Purge ancillary, which gives you cheaper recruitment costs, which Kugath is already really cheap on his Nurglings, and it gives you less upkeep costs on these little bastards. So you need 8 in order to get this Bruntus Bowel Purge ancillary, which you want. And guess what we're doing? Going after the Tong. Because this isn't as profitable to take 1 Providence when you can take 1, maybe 2, and then looking at to take 3 by the time the first set of chaos crap comes in, and if you're in a comfortable enough position, you can just recruit lords in the areas that you have conquered, primarily this location, and it's somewhere around this location-ish right here is where the portals come in for the rift. You want to go to the Slaaneshi realm, because at the end of it you get the personal sycophant, which is really good for movement range and experience, and you get the Sword of Slaanesh, which is good, but it's not really required. That's not really why you go there. It's really because of the money, because you just don't make enough money to be able to build your buildings worth a damn, because Kugath, the Nurgle does grow really fast. Like, it doesn't take much to get your growth going, especially with your friendly plagues. Like, you really can get going here with some of these friendly, where's the growth plague? Or maybe it's over here, this one right here. Like, this can get you a crap ton of growth, and because this game incentivizes, or especially the way Nurgle work incentivizes you to build a lot of garrison because you can't build walls, might as well build this. Like, Plague Bearers of Nurgle, Spawn of Nurgle, that's not very good. Plague Bearers, Rotflies, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get a whole lot of garrison inflation from Nurgle. You just get Nurglings mostly, which is fine. But what we're going to do is take a look here. We're at level 2 remaining. Before we hit end turn, I want to give myself a Plague of Rot. I'm not going to put Weeping Eyes in here because that doesn't do anything. It's not helpful. But I'm going to go ahead and infect the Sunken Sewers. And then hopefully we can meet, we're going to go 1, maybe 2, we'll see how they go. Sometimes they force march down here, and sometimes you need to fight them or draw them out. And so they will do weird things, because they'll know you're here, so they'll force march down here. So that's what I'm hoping they'll do, but they don't always do that, so we'll see how this rolls. That should be around turn 4 or 5-ish that we'll have to fight them, and if we can kill their armies, this Providence is yours. They can't do anything. We got unlucky. We didn't get the good icon. There's a Mortis Engine banner you can get, which is really good for your Great Unclean Ones Despair skill that I had pointed out earlier that we do want to go for eventually. Just gonna go ahead and do ourselves a simplistic little siege. We will fight this manually. It's on Legendary very hard, which means you can't auto-resolve unless it's, 300 to 1. And you'll probably still have half of your armies take half damage, because the auto-resolve calculation in this is a little ridiculous. And in the early game, I get it. Like, you're forcing, people in Legendary to fight their own battles. That makes sense. But at turn 50 to fight a level 1 settlement with 20 units? Like, get out of here. That's ridiculous. I know Nurgle's weak, but come on, man. Don't kick me while I'm down. Also in Kugath's tree, the regeneration for Nurgles, plus his little stand around him, plus the extra melee defense on top of that, and some of the abilities he gets with melee defense, means your Nurglings can be incredibly durable, which is the theme you're going to find with Nurgle. He's really durable. Don't expect him to kill anybody really fast, though, unless you get Soul Grinders. I haven't yet to get to tier 5 and then waste the time and money in my tier 5 settlements playing this kind of on my own, sort of testing it and trying to understand how the hell does this piece of junk work. Like, 'cause I get it, Nurgle's not very good, and that's, that can be addressed later on if Creative Assembly thinks that that's in their interest. Or maybe, this is the day 1 Skaven forever, because if you guys remember in Warhammer 2, back in the first day, the Skaven were pretty boring. They had artillery, and everything else on their roster was terrible. I think the best thing they had was Hellpit Abominations and artillery. To unfeign these charges. I wanted to do this primarily with the fairies, just so you can see how crap they are. Look at that. And these guys aren't much better. These drones, like, their mass doesn't equate very well. It's really bizarre, but this is what you use your Air Force for, which is why I put them here. You just go and beat the towers up. And it's best to do them in groups. And I guess you could get Pugath to throw his doo-doo at them, but why? Just get into melee. You want them to be bogged down, because you got your friend here. Oh, wait a minute, he doesn't have any spells yet. you have Stream of Corruption and you just want to keep hitting them over and over again. Unless you want to use this, which, whatever. It's like 4 Winds of Magic. It's not that expensive. Oh, looks like we're going this way. Go like this. This unit. Let's have you come over here. This should give you momentum, and using 2 Nurglings not in the fight to gain some free momentum, which helps you with your defense and attack and leadership against them and makes them a little less likely to turn into dwarves and fight to the last 3 dudes in every single damn stack of infantry. People from Warhammer 2 will know that, what that means. Fighting the damn dwarves, man. They have such high leadership, they just don't quit. Unless you like win to death them, and even then they'll come back and they'll still want some more. It's just like, go home already. I've clapped you. Leave me be. So we're trying to 1-2, but by the time we probably get here with these Nurglings, because I was a little bit late on that, it's not gonna happen. So you guys are too slow, so I'm gonna have you guys go this way. We'll just use Nurglings and this. Get him out. About to lose models. Yep, the charge is gonna hurt. Alright. That's a delicious little Stream of Corruption if I didn't know to say so myself. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Eat my poo blast. I'm using the Wind as a magic to poop on people. That's thematic with these things, man. If you guys ever seen Kugath's model, because it's actually got this visual representation now, that's a face only a mother could love. Ugh. Man, he puts the disgust and disgusting. Stop hurting me. So that's 5. Yep. One of the things I think is pretty interesting about this is using your magic constantly actually has no bearing on how much magic you have. This number gets changed by different ways instead of how much magic you have in your reserve, which I like that change. I do not like the fact that we're limited in our Winds of Magic. I think that kind of sucks. But you can subvert that by using lots of Wind of Arcane Conduits times Life Leeching. So once you run out of Winds of Magic, you're going to regenerate a lot of Winds of Magic, which increases the amount that Life Leeching pulls out of thin air because you've run out of your reserve. That's the understanding I have with the Magic Explorer. But you know what? Blow me. I'm gonna use it, because I like casting spells. That's why I like playing Warhammer and not traditional Total War. I like fantasy. Why did you limit my fantasy? That's the way I look at that. And I get it, because, you know, the physical resistance and demonic being in there, like, I get that part. That's fine. If you've got, you know, 500 Winds of Magic, who cares if Siege, you know, Kairos Fateweaver decided to reduce the Winds of Magic in an area by -10, because you have a reserve of 500 and you have to get underneath, you know, 20, I think it is, in order to lose all of your benefits of high Winds of Magic. Like, I get that part, but I don't know. Percentages and percentiles. I still want my, you know, by the time, what was the end game in Mortal Empires? I guess that was the start, was when Chaos showed up, which they're still probably a joke. Guess we'll see in our Mortal Empires if the Warriors of Chaos aren't anything more than a damn punching bag. This is exactly why I want to go down his red line and get that extra 6% speed. Please, for the love of holy goodness, be faster. You guys are done. Thank you. Have a good day. Sure. Whatever. It does nothing. It hurts their charge speed, which I don't know if that actually reduces damage at all. I just think that exists as an option. No, we'll not do that. You guys are just gonna go to the end here and just sit here and look stupid. You're done. No more fighting for you.
Come on.
Any second now.
A new blue.
Oh, are you serious? That's unfortunate. So I'm so used to Nurgle's early game where you just like don't do anything. You just click your order and you just sort of sit here and follow your thumbs. Wait for them to slowly but surely punch things. captured a victory point. I guess you're coming over here because he's going to block us off, I think. Actually, what is this? That looks like the melee speed problem. Can you... There we go, there's army losses. So you want to try to get that, that's helpful. Get you extra pieces of melee attack, but you don't have. Nurgle doesn't kill things. He laughs as you try to kill him. It's an extremely turtle faction, but I think with enough, you know, knowing how they work and some stuff, he can still be acceptable. And once you get your first settlement underway, which will be your battlegrounds, what I'm hoping to do is try to get a couple of different providences and probably oust the Zinchian faction, which is in your Gallow of Trees, which, if anybody hasn't picked up yet, that's going to be a pain in the ass. That will be a hard fight. That's helpful. I'm going to loot and occupy this because this gives you extra infections. While this does mean that I get half the amount of money I ought to have, I'm hoping by the time we get over here, we might end up having a revolt here because we'll be able to take the Writhing Fortress, which means I'm going to start off by building the public order building here. We'll probably peacefully occupy this and then continue to move that way to take their capital. Once they have their capital taken, it's just mopping them up. Alright, we give ourselves Root Marcher. We're going to go Inspiring Presence. You're going to be our Magician, because you're a wizard. There's no more recruiting that we need done. I did screw around a little bit with these guys and let them get hurt too much, which is unfortunate because when it comes to sieges, this is the best thing you have. That's, you know, it's the fastest thing you have. Outside of this, that's not a ground unit. That's just a Plague Bearer. Pox Riders are the same thing. Doo-Doo Monsters are slow. Spawn of Nurgle aren't very fast. The Forsaken aren't very fast. Beast of Nurgle isn't very fast. I don't know if you guys happen to notice, but there seems to be a bit of a attack this. Diplomacy. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who are you going to trade with? That's the only reason why you would do diplomacy anyways. Oh, what are you going to do? Try to get a defensive or military alliance with any of the deactivated rat empires? Try to get Plague Claw catapults, which should be immune to your plagues because they have the plague resilience thing as well? You know what I mean? Like, unless that's changed, but they never built the plague buildings. When I did do, you know, nice guy Nurgle crap, they never did what I wanted them to. So we want replenishment, and then 10% movement will be left over, so guess what? We're gonna grab this, because we don't quite have that yet. I think maybe we do. I still don't understand how this works. Oh, it's from 80 to 100. Okay, I thought it was 90. But it doesn't matter. I want more Winds of Magic, so... As you can see, he's got... Oh, well, let me see. Yep, here he is. So he recruited Lord and tried to recruit, which means he probably still has units here. Military presence of 6 by 3. He's got around 10 or 12 units. He didn't do what I wanted him to. Which also means we're going to stop him from upgrading this. I guess that reduces the amount of income we can get out of sacking it, but I don't care. This is the thing that's really thin. And you don't want to fight his force in there because that fight is tough. Anyways, let's fight. And this should be pretty easy. If you don't want to, and I don't think you should do this, but it's an option, you can get other Plague Toads, but I think they're too expensive. They're very helpful when it comes to these little settlement siege battles, so you can cap things and divide and conquer their forces. But all it is a lord and some idiots, so who cares? I'm pretty sure that's just a Chaos Ward. I don't think it's a wizard. I didn't see that it was a wizard. If it's a wizard, then that's going to be bad, especially if he has metal magic. Fireballs are only really dangerous against the Beast of Nurgle because he regenerates. Kugath, he's so tanky, like it doesn't really matter. You throw a fireball at his face, who gives a shit? Even I think if you overcast it, again, who cares? Kugath is literally thickums. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a small amount of divide and conquer. I think Pugath is gonna stand here. His Nurglings are going to be here. I think we're going to take 2 Nurglings at the end of this and hide them, hide them, hide them. So we can do some back capping. This is all inaccessible trees that don't actually exist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that has rocks in them, those don't exist. That's not an actual building you can hide in. Same with that. I thought there was in this map trees that are adjacent, the other side of where I am that aren't so far away. Ah, here they are. So we're gonna hide this unit so they don't know that they're here, so they won't send somebody to contend with them, so they can back cap. And you want Pugath and melee when it's accessible, when it's desirable to do so, not accessible, that's not the right word I'm using there. When it's desirable to do so if they don't have like Flock of Doom or... Come on, hide in the forest, baby. Where's the sweet spot? Give me the sweet spot. Come on. So you don't want to blob up with certain magic and have all your Nurglings get hit at once. Your extra health, while nice, doesn't make you invincible. Oh, you dirty whore. Son of a gun. Come on, stand inside the forest. Be not here. Fine, whatever. You're the fastest unit I have, so congratulations. Alright. Where are we going? Where do we have a tower? I don't care. So the only thing here that could hurt you, do they have inspiring champions? I don't think they do they? Fire wizard. Well, that's okay. Unless he hits my plague drones, which I will not be happy with. I'm gonna get the beast of Nurgle to support. You're gonna come in over here and attempt to stand right here. Camera's moving me because of the battle realism difficulty. There we go. Get you guys to stand right there. Then we'll think about that. You are gonna come over here, and this is mostly what plague toads I think are good for when it comes to these sieges. Doo-doo gath? Whatever, beast of Nurgle. Do you, boo? I think we actually might just have Kugath come over here, and we'll fight them here. What is this? This is just a range barricade. That doesn't do anything. This is another thing that I have a problem with. Really? What archers are gonna dock here? The Warrior of Chaos roster? You know what I mean? You can ask somebody who knows lore and like army books and the vast possible units that Creative Assembly can pull out of to put into these factions, but I'm pretty sure the Warriors of Chaos only real unit is the Marauder Horsemen. I think are their only real ranged unit, which is a skirmisher cavalry. Help him out. Well, whatever. I didn't actually do anything. Yeah, go home. Where is my beast? Are you high? Go over here. He's over here running around in circles, and then these three can take out these marauders with great weapons. Oh. Nice tower. I think I will tear that down before you can build it. I don't know. Does 19 Plague Toads have the power capping ability to beat the tower? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z! Let's speed this along. This bores me. Alright, what is... Missed me, bitch. I knew he was going to do that. Well, I don't care if you hit these guys. The sooner you kill them, the cheaper my finances are. I'm okay with that. They're not useful. So, blind spots would be right here. So we're basically not going to be using it. Nice tower. If you guys come over here, that could be a problem for the Plague Toads because they're already injured. Okay, hit my Nurglings. I wasn't really paying attention to that because I kind of don't care. It doesn't do much. Well, escort them off the battlefield if you would. Be so kind. What are you doing here? Go ahead and neuter them. Two of you should be okay here. Kill that. I'd be surprised if you guys can kill them. If you can, that'd be a tremendous blow to their balance of power. You're out of ammo. Let's not get into melee with him. I don't really want your models dying, so you guys can just sit there and be menacing. And you'll see frightened, faster and stronger enemies nearby. Essentially, the more units you have watching or participating in a fight that the other enemy is outnumbered, the less leadership they have, which is good. You don't want that. You want them to just not fight you. The more giving up and the less actual fighting you have to do, the better. Alright, I have a job for you. Did you guys catch them? Okay, I was going to actually use that on them. How are we doing over here? You beat them? Alright, inside we go. Building, yeah, that's that. Tower. Murder, man. You could overcast this, but I don't really want to kill him by doing the overcast, the miscast. That's the word I'm looking for, by miscasting. Like, I really do not want to subject myself to that. Because I did not pay attention to him close enough where he probably got flanked. That's a spicy meatball. Bastard. Kill him. Alright, nice. Punch that, I guess. Nice. Alright, then. What am I missing? This guy? What are you doing? One tower and then... I don't care. Here, give them some, Oh, damn. I didn't see that they activated just in the nick of time there. Let's have you guys punch that. I don't care what you do. Kuga, stop killing your own units. I clicked alt for you to melee. Get into melee. Activate my models. He's going to charge me soon. So we're going to go ahead and curse him.
Nurgles, come on! Decimate them!
So these Nurglings and this Toad. Go ahead and escort them, if you will. Magic! I hit my Nurglings a little bit, but that's okay. They'll be fine. I highly doubt that'll reach, but I'll try. So in order to see how that'll reach, Kugath needs to be right there. Which he can't do that. As soon as this captures, it should kill him. That's running. Right, everybody surround him. And then we should be able to control alt, left attack, and then this should drag these units over here, and hopefully that'll capture that. If not, yeah, these Nurglings do take a little while to unblock themselves. Yep, there we go. I don't know if this matters, but I guess we're about to find out. I'm not entirely sure if it's like Warhammer 2. If you fought a defending lord in a battle and you won the battle, if you still got their loot money, regardless if you killed them on the campaign battlefield. Oh, shot of water. All this talking. Oh my god, stop tickling his taint and kill him. 3 hours later. This is the Nurgle, you know, I'm screaming in the inside. I don't know, get out of here, go do something else. Are Plague Berries even worth trying to get them into melee? I mean, 35 attacks not the worst thing I've seen in my life. What are you guys doing? Kill him! I'm losing my mind here. Are you guys not helping? Question mark? I captured this thing, so that should remove his melee defense. What in the seven hells is going on? There you guys go. Just go someplace else. There. Good God. I think the models were all like interrupting their attack animation off of one another, and that seems to be another issue, which may be why blobbing isn't as cancerous as it was in Warhammer 2. Case in point with the Skelly spam when you had like 12, 15, 1400, 1500, I think, for the full Skelly spam of one Lord. Something like that. That was like the unit count. Where your game would run at like 2 frames per second because of all the models would be constantly going in and out of each other. Good. Money. I need that. So we're going to peacefully occupy this one. All buildings. Okay, well I'm going to give that to my hero. I want you to just do that. You're going to be my spellcaster. 3% speed. Congratulations. That gives my toad, what, 60? Okay, it's not working. It's not applying anyways. So we're probably going to build this here. 92 gold. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And that pretty much does the end of it. I think you guys see the strategy I'm going for because the Warriors of Chaos, again, to kind of go over this again, because the Warriors of Chaos do physical damage, I'm a demon. This is the... Who cares? Who cares? I'm a demon. 2,000 gold though will be helpful. Because these guys are mortals, even if they are Chaos aligned, they pretty much have 0 magical attack, which almost all demons have a magical attack, which I believe is why they redid spell resistance. Because that basically means that demons couldn't hurt dwarves, essentially, is what that would have equated to in the old system. I love you guys very much. We will see you in the next episode. I think this will round out our first episode. When we come back, we're going to deal with the Tong. We're going to play Public Order, Whack-A-Mole, and then we're going to be looking on to another Providence, because why not? You grow really fast. You need territory. You need Nurgle corruption. You need plagues jumping around. So we're going to do that. There's no sense for you to sit inside one settlement and play like the AI, because you have bonus 500 growth or however they get to tier 5 with one settlement, you know what I mean? And we'll see you guys next time.